Was Batley the sort of place to have such a nightclub where all the staff would go? And my theory is that it's exactly the sort of place where you should have a club like this. Because things happen where you are, where you live, and people enjoy things wherever they're from, don't they? So it's not unlikely that Batley should have a nightclub. The surprise is that there are nightclubs in every town that we go in. I've always thought that, you know, that a town should have somewhere to dance and somewhere to go and be. And Batley led the way in that. It's a remarkable story. It's a story that we've all come here to celebrate with this new book. I read it more or less in one sitting. It's a fabulous book, and you'll have a lovely surprise, especially towards the end. I'm not going to spoil the end for you, but there is a twist at the end of this book that is worthy of any Hollywood blockbuster film. My own experience of Batley goes back to, I found this out by Googling it. Goes back to 1976. Can anybody remember when Chuck Berry came to Batley Variety Club? Yes, hands are going up because, did you go to see him?
Bradford on Manigan Lane. Me and my dad carried there. I worked with John then at the Sweet Centre. Lovely. Yeah. They enjoyed it.
Lovely. We went to Lovely for a curry.
I was still at school. I was in my last year at school, and my mate Roy Errington said to me, he was our hero, was Chuck. We were rock and rollers at school, and Roy aped Chuck Berry's guitar technique. He learned to play guitar by copying Chuck Berry, and he said, we should go and see him. And I said, do you think we'll get in underage? Because he was 16, I think I was 17. Anyhow, we got tickets and we came over and we saw Chuck Berry. And it was a fabulous night. It's been in my mind this week, obviously, because Chuck Berry passed away at the age of 90 last week. And I remember he used to invite people onto the stage at the end to jive. And me and Roy must have managed to had a couple of pints of tap and take pictures or something. We jumped on stage and jived. And I remember putting my hand on Chuck Berry's back, and ringing went through with sweat. And he turned around to me and he's just in mid-song and said, "Go, Johnny, go." It's one of my wonderful memories. Batley Variety Club gave me that. I mean, Batley Variety Club will be remembered. We'll have a bit of fun later on this morning and ask for your own stories of Batley Variety Club. Sparkling memories. And then my next memory of Batley Variety Club comes when I'm a television presenter. And I was making a film about the time Louis Armstrong played Batley. It was a series called I Was There. It used to be on After Calendar. And they said, would you like to interview Mr. Corrigan? I said, I'd love to interview Mr. Corrigan. And we went to Maureen's house to do the interview. He was elderly by that point and ailing. He wasn't far from his passing. And I don't know whether it was me being a bit down to earth with him or whether he felt like doing it, but he decided he wanted to open up. I always remember he said to me, my grandfather said, look at the chimney pots now, and if there's plenty of chimney pots, there's money to be made. It's an old fairground. Maxi, I suppose. Look how many chimney pots there are. That's where you make the money. And after, unbeknownst to me, until a couple of weeks ago, James and Maureen had their heads together after we left the house that night and said, you know, James, it might be an idea now to write your autobiography. And he never got round to it, sadly. But 20 years on from that time, we have got the biography by Maureen Prest, who is the best placed person in the world to have written this story, because she was a friend and a confidant for James Corrigan for much of her own life, from being a young girl to being a more mature lady now. Be careful. And Maureen knew all the ups and downs of James' life. And when you read the book, you'll see that there are plenty of ups and downs. It wasn't all plain sailing, it wasn't all smooth and show business glam. A lot of it was nitty gritty, and dirty, and up and down, and hard. And unflinchingly, Maureen has written this. This is a brave book as well, because she's told the warts and all story, which is what a good book should do. Not hiding the truth or not glossing over what really happened. So it's an earthy story as well. Enough from me. I think I should introduce you now to this great book's author. She wants to say a few words, and then after that we've got some nice surprises as well. So put your hands together please and welcome Maureen Prest.
So overwhelmed to see you all here today, and I feel that you're supporting me personally. And I just wanted to say what we all would like to say about the amazing time of that Variety Club. And you know, it was in the swinging 60s when, in actual fact, the 60s swung straight past that and the local village. And it was then when James Corrigan, who was from a fairground family, but the maxim of the family was, you always had to turn a penny into a pound. So, but in doing so, you always had to give really good value for money. Because way back then, money didn't come easy. It was earned the hard way. And I've told all about his early life in the book. And, you know, his challenges that he faced. It's, as Ian says, it's warts and all. I'm so pleased that you've turned out and you're interested in it, and I do hope you all enjoy it. Thank you.
I'm going to introduce now a very special guest. He's a musician and songwriter who's welded to his own area as well at the same time. Although his music has been heard all around the world. You know him as well as I know him. Mr. Sammy King. Sam, there's a very famous story that goes round that you went to meet Roy Orbison at Batley Variety Club, and you actually went to his dressing room, didn't you?
Bit about it. Yes, I actually went down to Batley Variety Club. I'd been writing a few songs, and I figured there might be some good, there might not. And Derek Smith, you'll all remember Derek, no doubt, was manager then. He says, well, we've got Orbison coming down, Roy Orbison. He says, bring your songs down, and I'll introduce you. And he'll tell you if they're any good or not. Because, I mean, as you know, Roy Orbison's written some fantastic songs. So, anyway, I went down and took my tape, and Jerry Brook took me round to see him, actually. Now, you remember Jerry?
Yeah.
Anybody who's been to the Variety Club will not forget Jerry Brook. For my money, the best compere ever. Anyway, Jerry took me round and knocked on the door. Somebody said, come in. When he jumped through the door, there he was in all his glory, the one and only Roy Orbison. And I was gobsmacked because, I mean, I played Blue Angel and Only the Lonely, played him to death in Mars Coffee Bar in Bath. So one or two of you will remember that one, Mars Coffee Bar.
It might not be as old as these.
Oh, I forgot about that, yeah. Yeah, well, anyway, so, and there he was, Roy Orbison, and I was lost for words, really, because he was such a big star. a megastar. Anyway, I said, well, I've done a few songs, Mr. Orbison, and I'd like to play them to you, and will you give me an honest opinion? Are they any good? Or is it worth plugging these or trying to help them, etc. And he said, Sam, because Jerry said, this is Sam. He says, well, Sam, he says, just about to go along and do my show. It's Texas Draw. He says, but afterwards we're going up to a place called the Beefeater. So I remember that one, yeah. So we're going up to the Beefeater. He said, if you'd like to bring your songs up there, I'll be glad to listen to them. So I thought, well, this is great, wonderful. So after that, I walked out on air, and later on, went up to the Beefeater, figuring that he'd just sit down in the corner with me and brought some headphones and sit in the corner and listen to these songs of mine. Oh, that wasn't the case, no. When they'd finished, everybody sat like you did there, and I had a tape recorder here, and then the band is on tour, his managers, road managers, and Roy and his wife sat down and said, yeah, let's hear a song, Sam. You know, and of course there were demonstration records, you know, we sort of put them together, and there were quite a few mistakes on these. So just press the button and the tape recorder started playing. And when it came to a mistake, I went, and by the end of the second song, they must have thought I had a bad cough because there were quite a few mistakes. Anyway, the song I took mainly to play was a song called After Tonight, which was his style, so I thought. When I did the first song, which was that, Barbara, obviously, who was Roy's girlfriend at that time, said, well, I don't think that's Roy really. And so Roy says, well, have you got anything else? So I played him another two, because I was only going to play 3 songs to him. And he says, yeah, is that all you've got? I says, as well as 1 or 2 more songs on the tape. He says, just leave it playing. So I just left it playing and coughed now and again. And at the end of this, when it all went off the tape, he came up to me and said, he says, would you mind if I take a copy of the tape back with me to Nashville? I'd like to play him to Wesley. That's his recording manager. And I said, well, no, I wouldn't mind at all. And the thing is, I didn't have a copy of this tape. There was just one tape. And I thought, well, I'll have to get him this. So I gave him this tape. And then within a month, I got another tape back through the letterbox. And on it was a little spool that said, this is Roy Orbison's next single, which was a surprise.
I'm going to interrupt you, because I think this audience here would like to hear that song.
Oh, the song, yeah. Okay.
Yeah? Would you like to hear it?
Step up and play, the sheets seem to say, as I walk round and round the arcade. Just ring a bell on the big bagatelle until late, all the colored lights cascade, and music plays in a penny arcade. Yes, it played and it played all the time. Roll up and spend your last dime. A light shone in the night somewhere here. Blue turned into green, then it was red. And stir in the night, loud music played. The light I saw in the night was a penny arcade. All together now. Oh, step up the street, orchestra and music played in a penny arcade. Yes, it played and it played all the time. Roll up the stranger last that was waiting down. Never keep us, nor your store, nor your craft. To the best, very fantastic. Even when the happy of your please, don't be set, nor your score, being still up to make all together. In a penny arcade. Yes, it played and it played all the time. Roll up the stranger last roll up the stranger last time. La 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 la, la la la. Keep on and play. La 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 la. I say roll up the stranger last time.
Thank you. Sammy King, everybody. Really? I saw Sammy some years ago. We went to another book launch in Halifax. And when he found out that I was from Featherstone, he said, "Oh, Featherstone," he said, "how are we getting on at Green Lane Working Men's Club?" It's lovely, lovely. Did anybody in the audience see Orbison when he came? You did.
I couldn't believe how closely it resembled the recordings on the tracks. And we were absolutely hugely impressed on the night.
Anybody else got any strong memories of people that saw it? Anybody see Shirley Bassey? He's right here, the man who saw Shirley Bassey. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, we were introduced to the Back Drive Club by my late brother-in-law, Colin Hollow, had a fish shop in Batley, and he knew Jimmy Colligan very well.
Yes.
So we were very fortunate. We were having a club table right from the opening night, Easter Sunday. And of course that went on for as long as 10 years perhaps. Every Sunday night that was closing. But of course Shirley Bassey was by far our biggest fan. We were biggest fans of hers. And when she came for 3 weeks, everybody said, "Well, we'll come the other Sunday," but no way, we wanted all, didn't we? But she was absolutely fabulous. And of course B18 was the table where the club table, shall say, down came the centre stage where she went with her gowns. And one funny final story, my brother-in-law had a few. Davis perhaps like Julian that night, and when she finished her act, there he was, the idol of Shirley, collecting up the sequins as souvenirs for the kids. And she was mad.
For the rest of my life, I shall remember the man who knew the man who collected Shirley Bassey's sequel. Anybody see? You've got one. What did you see? Yes. What's your name?
Jim Powell, James Powell.
And what instrument did you play, James?
Tenor saxophone.
So, tell me some of the stars who you played for.
Shirley Bassey, Johnny Mathis, Bennett, Tony Bennett, and the pitch, yes, it's a little mine.
And Tom Jones, did anybody see Tom Jones there? No? You saw the Hollies?
And they just said to me, "There must be, it can't be like me." To sound like the record, she did it about it. And Tony Hicks hit a boom noise, and I
I just want to say to everybody how lovely it is to have Ian here comparing this. Lovely, lovely book launch, because it's the first I've ever done, because it's the first book I've ever written. And to say thank you, a great big thank you to Sammy, because I think that was wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. And also, here, taking you loads of pictures, is our publisher, Matt, his publisher. He's Ian, and he's from Root Publishing. He's the most marvellous publishing company. So if you all want to write a book, it'd be really interesting. But thanks everybody. And just the last thing I want to say is this. My book is dedicated to a little lady who sadly is no longer with us. My dearest friend, Pauline. She's not here, but when you turn the pages of the King of Clubs, you will meet her, and she was wonderful. Thank you.
Well, this is another little piece of history, Batley history, and I've got quite a bit because I've written history books about Batley. And one of the most favourite points I have is the fact that I'm very proud that I was the first person ever to write anything about Batley Variety Club. And it all came about because I was in the town centre one day when Jimmy Corrigan came along. And he knew I worked for the local newspaper. And he said, Malcolm, if you come up to my house this afternoon, I reckon I've got a story for you. So I went to see him at his home, which was a lovely home anyhow, up Oaks Road there in Soothhill. And he gave me a story of how he planned to bring to Batley some of the most famous people from the entertainment world and to put them on show in what he said was going to be the Batley Variety Club.
Batley Variety Club will always be very, very close to my heart. For many reasons. The first, of course, is that the club put Batley on the map. And also, it revamped my career and, in a way, Roy Orbison's, because that's where we met. And I gave him the song Penny Arcade, and he sort of relaunched his career.
Why Batley? Well, of course, what he was thinking about at the time is Batley is at the centre of several huge cities, isn't it? You know, when you think about Bradford, Wakefield, Leeds, Huddersfield, all with easy access to Batley. And if you're going to the theatre in Bradford or wherever, you have to think, haven't you, where am I going to park, how am I going to get there? But coming to Batley, you don't have to worry about that. And of course, he was able to get a huge area of land on what were the old sewerage works, where you could park hundreds of cars. And it was such a marvellous place to attract people.
Well, that was tremendous because he was a hero of mine. I mean, there used to be a little coffee bar in Batley that had a jukebox. And I remember when Only the Lonely came out, I thought that was fantastic. His voice and everything. And then he followed that up with Blue Angel. And his actual voice, it's incredible, the actual range that he goes through on that song. And I must have spent a fortune just putting it on time after time. And at that time, I never thought I'd ever meet him, let alone write for him. But he ended up doing 6 of my songs, 5 of which are on albums, and of course Penny Arcade.
How do you feel now about the club? Obviously closed last year as the Batley Frontier, and now it's going to be a gym. How does that make you feel?
Very sad. Very sad, and I'm very old as well. Because remembering it when it was just a sewerage works, as it were, or next to the sewerage works, and having seen the launch of it and being absolutely amazed at the quality of the staging and the service that the audience used to get down there, and seeing it go through different dimensions, it's really sad to think it will no longer be. So it's great that we've got memories of the club, memories, and I feel it's a real honour to me that I was the person who wrote the first story about it.
Simon, it's lovely to meet you. It's very kind of you to do all this filming for the King of Clubs. And I'm overwhelmed with the event. It's just been far, far bigger than I expected with all these people, and they've all had a lovely time visiting memory lane, basically. And I'm pleased that I'm going to take them a bit further down that lane with that book. They might be a bit surprised what they read, but what they do read will be the truth from someone who knows, who was there and lived through it all.